Hello everyone and welcome to the video. For this video, it'll be the 2-year review on my 2015 Lexus RC350 F-Sport. So back on June 30th of 2023 is when I purchased my 2015 Lexus RC350 F-Sport, and it's crazy to think that it's already been 2 years since then, and it has been an immaculate car. I have absolutely loved everything about it. This is actually the first vehicle I purchased with my own money. I actually saved up for many years to be able to get this car. I started saving like a year after I got my ES, and at first I didn't really know what I was saving up for, but then I decided as time went on I'd love to have another car, and I have always loved these RC350s ever since they came out back in 2015. I think they have aged extremely well since they came out. It has just a hair under 126,000 miles on it, and literally you would never know it. I was blown away when I first looked at this car. I got it with 111,000 miles, and the exterior is in good shape. It's got a few rock chips on the hood here and there, but overall it's in excellent condition. Literally looks brand new. And once we get to the inside, you'll see how new it looks in there. This thing had like, I want to say 3 or 4 previous owners, and all of them took immaculate care of this car. It looks brand new inside. You'd never know it had the mileage that it does. So I found a good one. It's been amazing, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon, obviously. And there are several things I want to do to it over the next few years or so, and I'll get to all that in a moment. As you can see, has this beautiful red leather interior, looks amazing with this ultra white exterior color. It is in excellent shape in here, really do love it. But yeah, this thing's in excellent shape. We'll go and get in and start it up. I know the sun's kind of glaring a little bit, but as you can see, just under 126,000 miles, and you'd never know it. This thing is in excellent shape. Absolutely beautiful interior. I love this red leather. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to find one with red leather. And at first, I wasn't a huge fan of the white exterior, but it's really grown on me, and it looks great with the red leather interior. As you can see, this thing is in such good shape. 10 years old, 126,000 miles, and it just looks brand new in here, and I am definitely going to make sure it stays that way. The sun's kind of glaring on it right now, but I did get a new shift knob for it. I tried to get as close to matching the seat. It's a little bit lighter than the seats, but it has carbon fiber on it and the red leather to match the interior. I thought that was really cool because the old one was kind of wearing out a little bit, and I just thought this would look really cool, so got that. Another thing that I've been trying to figure out how to do is to get Apple CarPlay installed in this infotainment system. Since this one's 2015, it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, and I'd love to have it, but I don't want to replace this whole head unit. I want to keep the stock screen, and I want to keep it exactly the way it is, but add Apple CarPlay to it. So if you guys have any suggestions on the best way to get the best and most affordable way to get that, let me know. Another thing that I'd love to do to it is get a steering wheel that has like carbon fiber and maybe matches the red leather, or just something cool like that, because some people I follow that have RCs have done that before, and it looks amazing. Like carbon fiber around here, maybe red around here, it would look awesome. But I know that would be really, really expensive, and I am 100% not going to try to install it myself, because that just sounds like a bad idea, and I'd definitely mess something up. I'd rather just have somebody else that knows what they're doing do it, because that's just how I am. If you have any suggestions on that, let me know. That would look amazing. And then someday I'd love to get new wheels on it as well. That's probably not going to happen for a while, and all this stuff is so expensive. And I'm still obviously making payments on this car. Even though I did have a really good down payment, it's still expensive to have every month, and insurance and all that bullshit. So all these mods that I want to do to it are not going to come like right now, but hopefully eventually. Looking under the hood, this vehicle is powered by the 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, which puts out 306 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. This one's an all-wheel drive model, so it is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission instead of an 8, which is one of my very few complaints about this car. I really wish the all-wheel drive models had the 8-speed transmissions as well. I'll talk more about that later on. But yeah, gas mileage is definitely not its strong suit at 3,900 pounds. with me in it, obviously over 4,000, and I like to hear the engine, so that's another thing. But you know, you don't really get these for fuel economy, but I did expect it to get better than it does. It gets like 16 to 17 in the city, and I can't get really better than 23 on the highway, so it's whatever. And as I've mentioned before, one of my favorite things about it is the LED daytime running lights. I think it looks amazing on this car. I do wish that the headlights were like what the RCFs have, with the LED headlights versus the HID, and the turn signals integrated into the LED running lights. That looks really cool. I wish this one had it too. I think you can swap those out, but obviously that wouldn't be cheap, so don't know when that'll ever happen. I should have cleaned up the tires a little bit, but I didn't. Oh yeah, and that brings me to another thing that recently happened. So a few weeks ago, I was driving and one of my tires like randomly was going flat, and I thought like I ran over a nail or something, so I took it in, and they said, oh, the tire's just bad, you know, it wasn't holding any air. They really didn't say exactly why, but I knew the tires that were already on here did not have a whole lot of life left in them, so I knew they would need to be replaced eventually soon anyway. But apparently on all-wheel drive vehicles, if the wear is already like close to needing to be replaced, you can't just replace one tire on an all-wheel drive vehicle because it could screw up the transfer case or something. So I had to replace all new tires. That was $1,100, and I didn't realize how shitty the other tires were though, because it drives like a whole different car. I got the best ones they had just so I wouldn't have to do that again. It does have an upgraded exhaust on it too. I actually don't know exactly what kind it is, but it sounds okay. It sounds better when it's cold, and it's a little louder when it's cold, but it's not as loud as I'd like it to be. That's another thing I kind of want to do is get a better exhaust. And I don't really know what kind to get or what the best one would be to be a little bit louder than this one, but not like obnoxiously loud. So that's another thing I want to do pretty soon. I was thinking maybe like an axle-back exhaust or something. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. And yeah, new wheels would be cool as well, but I honestly don't mind the stock wheels. I just don't like how stock it looks. I do think they overall look really good on the car. Looking back here, it does have a back seat, but not a big one whatsoever. There's been a few times that some of my friends have sat back here, and I always tell them to sit behind me since I'm not very tall, and it works for short distances, and I do like having it just to throw crap back here when I need to. Like I was talking about earlier, one of my only complaints with this car is the transmission. One, I don't think it has enough gears. I think they messed up not also including the 8-speed in the all-wheel drive models. Because, like I said earlier, on the rear-wheel drive models, they come in an 8-speed automatic. But if you get the all-wheel drive like this, it's only a 6-speed automatic. But I've really never figured out why exactly that is. But it's kind of stupid, but whatever. I still would much rather... I was wanting an all-wheel drive model just because the winters here in Kansas are terrible. And I would not do well with a rear-wheel drive vehicle in the winter weather. This all-wheel drive RC actually does really well in winter weather, surprisingly. But yeah, that's just my only complaint, because the transmission is just kind of sluggish. Right here is your drive mode controls. Like if you put it in Sport Plus, it turns white like that and it looks cool, and the steering gets tighter, it rides a little rougher. But I've noticed like when I find myself driving it in normal mode pretty much all the time, because I just don't like how the transmission behaves in Sport Plus mode. Because like if let's say I'm trying to do a quarter-mile time, I'll run it, I'll be like over 100 miles an hour, and as soon as I let off and press on the brake, it downshifts and goes to a way too high RPM, and then downshifts way too quickly, and it's just too slow. It doesn't do it as good as it should at all. It definitely needs more gears. And when I'm cruising in Sport Plus, if I go to too high of a speed, like if I accelerate hard and let off, it'll also downshift again. But it'll be like in a gear that's too low. Like it'll go from, 6th to 5th, and it'll try to stay in 5th even though that's too high, and it'll be at like 3,500 RPM, and then I'll have to like accelerate again to get it to go back into 6th, or like click it manually with the paddles. So that's pretty annoying. But it's not that big of a deal, and I don't really like when I drive it hard in normal mode, it shifts like it should in Sport Plus. It's really bizarre, like how I would think it should in Sport Plus. Like the shifts are still fine. It doesn't downshift when it shouldn't. And I've measured the times, and there's not that big of a difference in 0 to 60 or quarter mile times in Sport Plus mode versus normal mode. It's kind of weird. But if I'm racing somebody, like if I stomp on it, it'll downshift and be ready like when it should. So the difference is not that major. It's kind of just how how it like steers and how it rides. That's really the only difference that I notice in it. And the exhaust doesn't really get any louder or anything like that. So I don't know. It's whatever. I still like to put it in Sport Plus mode sometimes. Just it's not like a legit like sports car. It's more of like a sporty GT car, so I get it. It's not like an LC 500. That's way more snappy, bigger engine, and better transmission, and all that stuff. But yeah, other than that, I really have no complaints with it. I mean, the infotainment system is pretty outdated now, but that was to be expected. But it does its job, and it works fine. I just wish it had CarPlay. That's literally the only thing I wish it had. And the backup camera is fine, but it does suck at night, I will say that. It works fine, and obviously it's not flickering like that. That's just the camera. But it does. The backup camera does really suck at night. Other than all those things, no big deal. Looking over here, obviously being a Lexus, especially an RC, they use great quality materials in this thing. It is hard to touch down here, but it's so smooth. Nice high quality leather right here. And I do like this kind of fake carbon fiber-ish type trim. I do wish it was real carbon fiber. That could be another modification later on. I don't know. Does have 3-person memory on the driver's side, but no memory on the passenger side, like my ES has, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And I still need to get those logo lights like my ES has. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. But the overall layout in here is really nice. Very luxurious interior, really high quality materials. I do really love it. And for being a 2015 model, it's aged really well in my opinion. You'd never know it has 126,000 miles. It literally looks brand new in here. It also does have a heated steering wheel, which is really nice in the winter. I love that. It does have heated and cooled seats on both the passenger and driver seat, which is really awesome. Really do love that. Traction control off, snow mode. It really is a really great and underrated car in my opinion. It's not the fastest. It's slower than a lot of its competition, but just cruising around, if you pull up to anybody by a stoplight, 9 times out of 10, I'm the faster car at the red light. I actually like that it's not stupid fast, so if I do want to get on it and go through the gears, I'm not exceeding the speed limit to a point where I would go to jail. And, you know, it's good enough for me. If I wanted a race car, I'll get something else for that. And really the only sign of wear and tear is right here on the leather seat. As you can see, it's starting to rip up a little bit right here, but literally that's the only area where you can see wear and tear for the mileage. It's really crazy how good a shape this thing's in. Because like looking over here at the passenger seat, this one looks literally brand new. Like it looks like it's hardly been sat in. And again, 126,000 miles. Crazy. Looks brand new in here. I love it. So yeah, overall, this has been an excellent car. It's given me no issues whatsoever. The only things I've had to do to it is get new tires, oil changes, replace a battery, and that's literally it. I've had to do nothing else. That's just regular maintenance that any car would need. So it's been immaculate as expected, being a Lexus. And I've really loved having this car. It's been great. And I know you guys have enjoyed seeing it as well. Every video I do on it really does well. And briefly, if you're not too familiar with the Lexus RC, Lexus introduced this vehicle back in 2015 as an all-new luxury sports coupe to their lineup. And it's been in production since then, and it has been confirmed that 2025 is the final year of production for the RC. Starting in 26, it'll be discontinued. And I've heard rumors that the RC and LC will be replaced by one vehicle. The LC still has a couple model years left, but 2025 will be the last one for the RC. The 2015 models and 2025 models are really, there's not a huge differences in them. They've had a few updates over the years of production. The 2015s to 2018s remain the same. They had a mid-cycle facelift in 2019, which brought minor exterior styling changes to the front and rear. Updated tech again in 2023, made the infotainment system a touchscreen. They've aged really well. They've had a good run. 2025 is the 11th model year of production of the RCs. And over 11 model years, there have only been around 60,000 that have been sold in the USA. So pretty low production numbers, which I kind of like that. I like having a not as common vehicle. So I'm kind of glad they're finally discontinuing it, because there's really no need to keep it going if the production numbers are that low every year. So yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the 2-year review on my 2015 Lexus RC350. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to see with this car or any other video, let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching.